it is very difficult to explain what is the principal answer to the disaster of Fukushima. We have four different parts in our report. The first one is to explain what happened in Fukushima. The second part is to explain why the crisis management and the leadership of the Prime Minister failed to conduct. Well, we didn't conclude that it was a failure, but the first few days, it was a quite chaotic mess took place. And the third part, we discussed the historical and the structural issues, which includes the issue of the nuclear village, which is the conglomerate of the academics, administration, and operators and local government to invite and to build up the so-called myth of safety, which is to give a sort of a illusion that the nuclear plants are safe for the local people and all the users of the electricity. The fourth part was the difficulties and troubles of the relationship with the foreign countries and international organizations. We benefited a lot from the coalition with the United States, and the United States offered a lot of help. But for the Fukushima accident, the coordination was not so successful as in other areas of the tsunami disaster. We have learned a lot from the Fukushima accident. The new regulatory authority is now being in charge of building up the new regulations. Perhaps one of the worrying thing is that there are sort of a renewal of the myth of safety again, that people believe that the new regulation is the highest standard in the world. The Fukushima will not happen again, and therefore we are on the safe side. And one of the things that I'm worried about is that there are few local governments which are not very forthcoming for developing the evacuation planning, for example. And so if the Fukushima accident happened beyond the imagination, beyond the designed nuclear safety regulations, so if something that goes beyond what we can think of, then it's very difficult to see that it would not happen again. It is almost impossible for anybody to understand whether it's safe or not. It is only the few experts, who can understand the whole safety issue, and it is not for the people to make a judgment. But at the same time, there are lots of people who are voicing the danger and the anxiety of having a nuclear power plant all over in Japan, because they saw the Fukushima accident, they believed in experts, and then Fukushima happened. So there are strong sentiment in Japan sentiment of the skepticism towards those expert system, and I think it is also because of the demand from the local population and local government to restart the nuclear power plants in order for the benefit of the local economy. Because if it stops, then there will be no income, there will be no people working in the plants, and that is the devastating situation for the local economy. The political impact of the Fukushima accident is very minimum in Japanese political landscape. This can also be seen in the general election last year. The Abe government was supported, hugely supported by the population, and even though they are not claiming that they are anti-nuclear, actually they are claiming to restart the nuclear power plants, but LDP won the majority. It is almost impossible to build new nuclear power plants. It is also difficult to restart and maintain the current existing power plants. So the nuclear engineers and all these industry which are providing the hardware and software and all the support and maintenance, these people will have nowhere to go, and they won't have any revenues. So export is the sort of a substitute for the lack of domestic demands. And that is the Abe's strategy to use nuclear as part of his export strategy. But at the same time, there are certain concerns about the dominance of the other countries in the global market. For example, China, South Korea is now pushing forward in the nuclear market in the Middle East, and this is where the Abe government is thinking that the Japan can play a much bigger role. So it is also a strategic diplomatic choice for exporting the nuclear technology.